this was inspired by is in the garage. The wound is deep, covered by a scab we can't stop picking at. If you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to really cry about. My father was an abandoned lighthouse, a suicide machine. All right, that's it. I warned you. And he grabbed me by my pajama top and dragged me out to his work shed in the garage. He slammed the shed door shut, and the room went pitch black. He bumped around for a minute in the dark until he found what he was looking for. I heard a click, then a snap that sounded like he was breaking the neck of a cricket. But he was just pulling the string that turned on the light bulb that hung from the work shed ceiling. The bulb swung back and forth like a maniacal child of tortured light, chasing shadows on the devil's playground. My father's face seemed demonic. His eyes were throbbing like possessed globs of bubble tea. His forehead had turned red, and he couldn't stop his teeth from chattering like an epileptic player piano. He then pulled open a drawer right behind him and reached in to grab a sharp object, which he shoved in my face while muttering, "You want something to cry about? Then take a look at this." In his hand was an Indian arrowhead. Our ancestors are murderers. We came here and slaughtered all the natives and took their land. We poisoned their food and mocked their customs. We defiled their religious ceremonies and made urinals out of their burial grounds. We stripped them of their pride and destroyed their culture, all in the name of a retarded God and air conditioning. All this blood on our hands that no one wants to talk about, all this invisible guilt and shame passed down from generation to generation. The wound is deep. It's gotten inside of everything and twisted our souls inside out. Our bones are filled with an irreparable sadness. This arrowhead is symbolic of a civilization that we turned to dust. Death is in the air. Cancer is in the water. Tiny viruses are breeding at an exponential rate, and medicine can't keep up with their breeding. There are no cures, but the ones that's going to kill us is right now lying dormant in an iceberg somewhere. And the thing is, our so-called progress, our addiction to unnecessary convenience is going to free it thanks to global warming. And when that iceberg melts, it's going to release that virus, and it'll be so hungry after sleeping for so long that it will wipe us off the face of the earth, just like we've destroyed so many others. He told me all this with tears streaming down his face, but I could not cry. It was all too absurd, too unreal, and my numbed ignorance infuriated him even more. The worst part of it all, he continued, is there's no hope left in the world. You can sense it wherever you go. Half the world is starving, the other doesn't give a fuck. Everything dark inside us is being given a voice. Revenge, not love, is the champion of today. And then, in a last-ditch attempt to get me to cry, he reached into the drawer once again and showed me the mask. This is Dr. Zaius. Your mother is obsessed with the Planet of the Apes, and she wants me to wear this when we make love. She can't stand the sight of me anymore, but this goddamn monkey mask turns her on, and so I wear it to try and salvage something of what was. But when I go to kiss her, she punches me in the face and screams, "Get your filthy paws off me, you damn dirty ape!" She thinks I'm a nosebleed, a sweat stain, a shitty little turnip that looks like Mr. Ed. And then he said it. Love is dead. It's the worst and truest thing I can tell you. The only thing I have to pass on to my son. He put the arrowhead back where he found it and closed the drawer. He turned off the light and walked out of the shed, leaving me alone in the dark. It's how I would always remember him. Silent and broken and ashamed to show me his face in the light. Thanks.